Hi, Mr. Smith. First thing I want to do is I want to thank you for coming down to the station. I'm going to make some small talk with you, build some rapport, and that way make you feel as comfortable as possible being in an interrogation room. So, Mr. Smith, again, I want to thank you for coming down. Some questions I wanted to ask you about an investigation I've been doing for a while now, and I was told that you might have some information that could be helpful in helping us solve this crime. Can I get you any water? Do you need any coffee? You need to use the bathroom? Anything? You good? By the way, how's the weather out there right now? Is it still raining? It is? Yeah, I know it's been raining all day, and hope traffic wasn't too bad coming down. Did you get down okay? Did you find it all right? Okay, great. So, as I mentioned over the phone during an investigation, and wanted to know if you could answer a few questions for us to help us out, figure out what's going on with this. Great, thanks so much. Now what I want to do though is I need you to waive your Miranda rights. I need you to agree to talk to me without a lawyer present, without any legal counsel or guidance. So what I'm going to do right now is get you to do that. Before we get started, I've got to do one small thing. You've probably seen this on TV and the movies before, right? I have to read you your Miranda rights. You've seen that done on television, right? Great, great. So I just have this little card here I need to read, and then we can get started, okay? Great. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. Do you understand the rights I've read to you? Okay, great. With these rights in mind, are you willing to talk to me right now? Fantastic. Now, let me tell you what this is about. Now that you waived your Miranda rights, the rules of the interrogation game are going to change. Before, we might have had a conversation where you get to ask me questions and I get to ask you questions. But now, all that's going to be different. Because now that you've waived your Miranda rights, I'm the one who gets to dictate the rules of the game. I get to choose what we talk about, how long we talk about it, how much you get to talk and how much I get to talk. And while you can still invoke the right to remain silent, you probably won't because you're in the interrogation game. And you're going to become convinced that talking to me is in your best interest. Now, we have information that you were involved in a crime. And in fact, you were the one who committed a crime. Now, I don't want to hear you didn't do it, okay? You see this binder right here? I've been working for a long time on this investigation. And this evidence is showing me that you're the one who did it. The evidence I have might not even exist. This binder might be filled with papers that have nothing to do with the interrogation or the investigation or with the case at all. Papers might be blank. Because in the United States, it's legal for me to use deception to convince you that you're in fact guilty. I can make things up. I can talk about talking to people that I didn't talk to. I can talk about witnesses that don't exist. But you don't know that. You don't know what evidence I have. And so the rules of the game are unequal. All of this right here is evidence that's pointing to you doing it. Now again, I don't want to hear that you didn't do it. Okay? We know you did it. We know you're responsible. And I got to tell you right now, you can argue all you want. The most important thing for you right now is to listen, not talk. I need you to listen. I need you to listen to your options because what you do right now, what you decide right now, is probably the most important decision you can make in your life. It says without a doubt you're guilty. But what I need to know, Mr. Smith, is why. I need you to tell me your side of the story. I need you to talk to me about how it happened, about what happened afterwards. Okay? I need you to fill in the gaps that we have. Now again, we already know you did it. You can't tell me you didn't do it. Okay? We know you did it. But what we need to know is, in your own words, how that happened. And I need you to explain to me the circumstances that led to the crime. What I'm going to do now is, I'm going to paint you in the most positive light I can. Even though you might have committed a horrible crime, I'm going to talk about what a good person you are. I might just talk about you making a mistake, coming into a situation and just deciding, spur of the moment, to commit the crime. This wasn't something you planned. It was something that just happened. And so, Mr. Smith, you seem like a good person. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. I've met some really, really bad guys. And you don't strike me as one of those bad guys. You strike me as a person who's been under a lot of stress recently. I mean, I know you have a family, you have kids in college. I know that can be really expensive. making those college payments, taking out those loans, and I know you've been working at your company for a long time. I know how hard it can be, not getting enough money to make ends meet. And a person like you, who is really a good person, could, at spur of the moment, just decide, having the opportunity to commit a crime. So, is that what happened? Was this something you planned out all along? Were you planning on stealing money from your job, or was it something that just happened spur of the moment? Now, again, it's got to be one or the other, Mr. Smith. Now, again, are you the kind of person who planned out this robbery ahead of time? This is something that you thought about for weeks? Or was it something that just happened? It has to be one or the other, because we know you did it. And right now, the best thing you can do is tell me that you committed the crime in a way that puts you in the most positive light. Because after I leave here today, after I walk out of this room, I don't know what the prosecutor is going to say. And so this is your best opportunity to put yourself in the best light possible by telling your side of the story, telling me how it happened, telling me that it was something that happened at the spur of the moment and not something you planned out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this piece of paper and this pen so you can write down how the crime occurred. Because we know it happened and we know you did it. And again, I might be using deception. I might not know, but you don't know that. But I'm going to use a variety of techniques and tactics. I'm going to use deception. I'm going to use psychological manipulation. I'm also going to use interactional strategies to get you to be convinced that whether you did the crime or not, that you're responsible for it. Because what you don't understand is that you're in the interrogation game. This is a game you don't know how to play, but I do. This is a game I play all the time, and you might have never, ever played before. I know the rules of the game, and I get to set a lot of those rules. You don't know those rules at all, and you don't know that you have options in them. It's going to be very hard for you to win this game. And what I'm going to do is convince you that the best thing you can do is confess to the crime. Because ultimately, I'm a salesman, and I'm selling you on the idea that confessing and possibly losing your freedom, losing your job, losing your reputation is the best thing for you right now. And I'm going to do that through the interrogation game.